All right, what's up, Miko? Like geeks and freaks. So it's been a while. Can't say I haven't been busy dealing with between work and personal stuff and everything else. Been out a little bit, but I did pick up some really cool things today. I thought they're actually quite cool, and I'll give you guys a little look. I don't have this Bruce Lee video going on in the background. We're going to change that, and we're going to move that over to something else. We're going to take that off. Actually, let's change the background to Ultraman. There we go. There's Ultraman. You guys want to check it out? All right, here we go. Let's see what we have today. All right, so as people come in or don't come in or whatever, that's fine. But I'm going to show you guys some stuff I got. Let me grab a box real quick that I had over here. I forgot about bringing it over before we got started. And this is going to be just a couple things I picked up at Dollar Tree. I'll do these first because they're just some Hot Wheels cars and so on before I show you the big box from today that I picked up at the store. First, well, here's the Batman vehicle. I love this movie. I know people just hate it. I love it. I really do. But this one happens to be green. It's like an olive drab, like an army color. That was pretty cool. There's this interesting thing, which I thought was unusual. It's kind of like a Lego car, if you will. And apparently you can move some of the pieces around on it. I think real Legos are supposed to be able to attach to it. I don't know. So it was interesting. Of course, you can never go wrong with the Ford Mustangs. Love the Mustangs. This is the later edition Mustang. Different body style than the ones that I have. Let's see, what else do we grab in here? Oh yeah, we got a couple things in here. All right. So pick this up. I don't know, this is kind of like some Honda Super Cup. I guess it's like a moped or something. So the motorcycles are cool when the wheels spin. Then we have this one, which reminded me of, this is the head gasket. This reminds me of the old Hot Wheels car where he had like the guy, I think he was like the, kind of looked like a guy with almost like a German World War I helmet on, and it was kind of his body was attached to the wheels. They go for big money now. Had those. Here's an older fastback, or sorry, 65 Mustang 2+2 fastback, which I thought was great. We're excited for that. Picked this one up, which I really like. It's a Di Macchini Veloce, which reminds me of a Lancia Stratos. It's not, but it sure as hell. What is it? No, it's not. It looks like it from the picture, but love that. Lancia Stratos, one of my favorite cars. If you don't know what it is, it's Italian. It was very, very, very cool. And then, of course, this one, which I thought was pretty neat. This is the Kit concept car. Yes, from Knight Rider. But this is I got this thing in the front, and he looks nothing like the old Firebird, I guess, that they had before. I thought it was pretty cool. All right, moving those to the side. I'll show you guys the smaller things I picked up first, then I'll show you what's the bigger pieces. The first thing is I've been just, and I got these at FYE. If you guys don't have FYE, they kind of sell like a little of everything, just kind of pop culture shit. And they're a little expensive, but I joined their club, which probably shouldn't have because it's $15 a month. I don't go there enough to use it. But if you do, they give you like 10% off everything. So today it paid off actually. But I picked this up first. This is by NECA. And I don't know how many of these he's made. I'm going to have to go look. This is from Dungeons and Dragons. It's called Grimsword Evil Action Figures. And the figure itself it's pretty awesome. I don't know if they only made 2 of these or they made more. I know the light's kind of like on that. So let me open that up for you. I like the artwork on the front. It reminds me of the old Dungeons and Dragons manuals. This is what he's supposed to look like. I get that without all the glare. Sorry, it's a little tough. And the figure's inside, and he's just battle equipped with a shield and a sword, and his shield has kind of this serpent head on it. He's got these crazy things coming out of his helmet, so I thought that was pretty cool. These might be the only 2 that they made. It includes sword, snake mace, snake shield, and interchangeable hands, which they've got a lot of hands in here. The sword is humongous. I mean, the sword is almost as big as the dude. So here's the snake mace, which is pretty cool. It's like a cobra with a mace, with a mace head coming out of it, like that. And then this was the other one I got. The tab is broken, but I didn't really care. This is a War Duke. Not like a huge Dungeons and Dragons knowledgeable person. I just remember having it as a kid, but I have the one over there from the small 3 3/4 inch one, but this is it's huge. Let's see if I can give you guys full view. He's actually pretty cool. The figure's actually pretty bad. These might be the only two that they make because I only see also available. These are the evil action figures, but the artwork on the front is great. It's that old Dungeons and Dragons style stuff. If you guys have actually played or whatever, it's pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to show you what the biggest thing that I got now. Do I have any other graphics I can throw in the background? Let's see. Let's see if this is going to come up on the screen. Man, spinning. Very good. All right. So this I picked up. I didn't know they made this, and I picked it up. It was not cheap, but with my 10% off, it made it almost too good to be true to not pick up. This is the Predator Special Edition Jungle Hunter. This figure is, Jesus, I don't know. I guess how tall he is. He's humongous. Humongous, yeah. That's an exact size. Let's see what it says for size. Let's see. Deep in the jungle, several bodies have been discovered, skinned and hanging from the trees. Who or what could have done this as a mystery in Elite Special Forces team? Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Gauntlet. Oh, so this is, let me show you these cool stuff. Let me get the size of this guy first. He is, how tall is this guy? Doesn't even say. So you have to put batteries in him. And this is from 2015, I guess. Wow, I didn't realize it was that old. So you have to put batteries in him. It says quarter scale. So I'm assuming he's probably about 22 inches tall. But he's got kind of the front's kind of hard to see. He's got kind of this cool netting and so on here on his chest. It's a really good figure. But on the side, which is really cool. So what they have is the helmet features LED laser guidance. So there's actually next to the helmet. You can see over here, got the LED guidance. But look at this. Gauntlet opens to reveal the LED display. So you can open the thing in his arm. You guys remember Predator opened his wrist, and that's actually that. But I thought that was pretty badass. I really want to unbox him. He's got his shoulder cannon, what we call it. He's got, looks like he's got skulls on a string. He's got some vertebrae on a string, or a cord, if you will. He's fully armored and so on. And I'm just really curious how posable he is. What I do like about this, when you look inside, they didn't use those typical crappy, you can't really see, but they didn't use those crappy plastic white clips or those tie wraps that you normally get and you have to cut. There's actually black ribbons in there. There's like 1/4-inch ribbons that have him tied to the actual back. And I really want to open him. I'm not going to open him today. I probably should, but again, he's about 22 inches or two. He's close to 2 feet tall. I thought that was pretty badass. I really like that. It's humongous. It's just badass. Just larger than life size action figures. Just really, really, really cool. The artwork's good on it. Artwork's really good on it, and so on. I thought that was pretty badass. It's a really great figure. Sorry about the glare. One day I'll figure out how to set up a thing so I don't have to worry about that. But he's a really cool figure. So I haven't seen him before. I saw him, and they wanted $180 for him. I was like, holy shit! But it was 10% off plus the other stuff. So I paid like $250 for everything today, which is way more than it probably should have. But I haven't treated myself in a while. I've been working like a dog, so I figured, what the hell? I'll check that out. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the world. So, like I said, I haven't been as active as I hope to be, but I do see. Actually, let's take a look and see where we're at. I noticed the other day we were like 807 or 808 people in Migo Like Facebook group, which is really cool. It's really nice to see it grow. It's nice to see people sharing and all that kind of stuff. So what are we looking at here? 808 people. That's really cool. That's very, very, very cool. It really is. It's a really good growth we got going on here. I think that's really, really cool. I think that's really, really cool. So congratulations to you guys that have joined us and come in. We're very, very excited to have you guys in Migo Like, or my Migo Like, or the Lick, or whatever you guys want to call it today is fine. And we always encourage the open speech platform. Don't be a dick. You know where you guys draw the line, right? And I'm not talking about, making funny comments or some things are a little off color. Those are fine. And if something you don't like, just ignore it if you can. But I'm talking about being an actual dick. We don't really have too many problems in there, and very, very few. We have some people in there who likes to stir things up or try and stir things up. It is what it is. That's fine. I mean, listen, whatever you want. I know we have this really cool group and a lot of sharing, and I see posts every day. We do more posts in our group. Look at the analytics versus some other groups that have 4 or 5 times the size members we have, which is really neat. So we have active members, which is cool. We're not just all sitting in there, but not everybody posts and everybody comments. It's really nice to see you guys going back and forth. So really proud of that. You guys have done a great job, and the room pretty much runs itself. It doesn't really need too much moderation. Matter of fact, we try and do as little moderation as possible because the idea is for you guys to come in and, if we were all going to a room and we were to sit down and talk, I won't actually be standing over to listen if somebody uses a bad word. I mean, I know a couple of people are say, well, what if kids come in? We don't really advertise this as a kids room. So I would say if you're bringing your kids in, just be warned, they're all adults in here. So, or I like to think you're all adults in there. So if you're going to bring your kids in, think about that before you do. You wouldn't take your young kids to a rated R film without realizing there could be possibly something that may not be, that they're not mature enough for yet. So kind of do that. So here's what I'm doing, and I'm put this out, and I've said this before. I'm going to do it again, and you're going to find people are going to probably try and do whatever they can to make it not happen. And I'm not talking about in this group. I'm talking about in other groups that don't seem to be happy with us being able to express our opinions. But see if we can put together a meet and greet. Hopefully within the next 6 months. I'd like to do it sometime probably around June or July. It's a little tough. I've looked at several venues, several places. It's really hard to find something that's central for everyone. And we'd like to do something where you guys can actually do a little different than what you've seen in the past. Other meets you go to, it's fantastic. It's great. They all offer you something. We'd like to do something a little different that's a little more involved. Not just so much you guys walking around worshiping the guys that sit there and claim the antiquated hierarchy of some other groups. They want you to come in and worship their feet. We don't want that. We want you guys to come and have fun. We want you guys to enjoy each other's company. We want you guys to share and to talk and to customize or whatever you want. And I'm working on making provisions for that. Haven't got as much detail as I'd hoped to gotten by now because I got a lot of other shit going on. And if there's some chance that it doesn't happen because something falls through, well, that's just life, and we just have to deal with it as adults. But I think for the most part, we're standing a very good chance of this happening, and hopefully get people there. And they go on record and say if one person shows up or 1 million people show up, it's all the same. We're there just to share. You know what I mean? It's not the number of people doesn't make the event better or worse. More people, more diversity, more fun, more sharing. Yes, absolutely. But 10 quality people in the room far outweighs 1,000 non-quality people in a room that don't share, or I don't want to use any other kind of words, but that don't share. So we'd rather have guys that are in there and are actually willing to kind of kick in. So anyway, that being said, look for that in the upcoming months. I'll post information as quick as I can. I'm still trying to find the centralized venue, and I know everybody's all over the place, and there's people who aren't as mobile as others. That's a little rough. But like everything else in life, we do the best we can to help as many as we can, and we can't please everybody all the time, but we'll do our best, and maybe we'll rotate it around, kind of make it better. But other than that, what are you guys collecting today? Hopefully you guys are enjoying yourselves, and you guys are getting out there and growing your collections as you would. I just realized I don't know where the hell I'm going to put these things. Shit. I didn't consider that when I bought them because, shit, we're kind of full. Ah, crap. All right, well, we'll figure something else for them. We'll figure something out for them. But what are you guys collecting today? You guys getting anything good? I've been actively trying to find pieces for my LJN Mr. Action sea sled, or land sea sled, sorry, and the jungle amphicat. I was able to track down a couple of pieces. I was actually tracked down an additional machete, if you will. I've got one coming from Danny Gates, which is awesome. I was able to actually track one down last night. Matter of fact, there's a second one floating around on eBay, but the price is so ridiculous. I don't think I want to pay for that. I was actually able to track down the actual rubber sharks and the alligators and actually the snakes that came with the original sets. Now, those were just what they call, I learned a little bit about this as I was figuring them out. They're called jiggly oilies. And they're basically those old rubber animals you could stretch, those rubber and poor paint jobs, too much blotchy paint. But that's what LJN used when they threw them in there to compete with the old G.I. Joe stuff. If you look at a G.I. Joe Adventure Team training tower, you'll find it came with a pretty cool rubber snake. That snake I've seen go anywhere from $90 to $30 just for the rubber snake. I got my whole tower for 18 with probably about 80 some percent of the parts, but I didn't get the snakes more. The LJN Mr. Tower, the mobile base as they call it, which was their GI Joe ripoff. Uh, you know, actually that one didn't come with. I'm sorry, that one didn't come with any like rubber animals, if you will, or companion creatures. It's the ATV, the Amphicat jungle vehicle, and so on. I was able to find 4 of them, some in better condition than others, and I've shown them before in past videos for you guys. And the Land Sea Sled, I'm actively looking for pieces for those. So if any of you guys have any of those, I know there's somebody who says in Germany they sell them quite a bit under a different name. I haven't come across any yet, so I'm going to keep looking because they're actually really cool. And I'd like to kind of maybe get one complete one before we go and leave this planet Earth at some point. Not a huge fan of the Mr. Action figures because they're kind of cheap and crappy, but I will have to say it's really cool to see things where knockoffs knock off other knockoffs. Like the Mr. Action LJN figure is obviously a knockoff of the vintage G.I. Joe Adventure Team figure, but then you guys know the knockoff Maskatron figure, L'Homme aux Quatre Visages, or the L'Homme Robot aux Quatre Visages, the robot man of 4 faces. And one of his masks is actually LJN's Mr. Action. It's not even G.I. Joe. It's a ripoff of that. Then they have the one that's actually the Planet of the Apes figure, like Cornelius. And then, of course, the one that's the John Saxon figure, if you will. So it's really neat to kind of watch these guys ripping each other off and so on. But in any case, I'm looking for pieces for that. I was able to come across at least 2 of the lanterns or flashlights, and Danny Gates has been good enough. He's got 2 more for me coming, which is great. Very excited. That'll help me fill out those over there. But any little pieces or stuff like that, I'm always looking for. So if that's something you guys have or know about, great. If you don't, I'll be happy to put pictures up so you guys can look. And if you find them, happy to purchase them or trade or whatever you want. So that being said, I wanted to sit here and talk about my collection all day. I'd really love to hear what you guys are doing with yours. Feel free to leave comments in here. Tell me what you guys are looking for, what you guys are looking into, and if there's something I could help you find, I'm very happy to do it. Maybe I have it here with some extras. I do have a bunch of extra stuff that I want to start giving away a little bit. Some pieces that I've come across, and it's a little bit overload here. So see if we can get rid of some of them and put them in the hands of other collectors who will give them a good home. All right. Other than that, I hope you guys are all doing really well. Just keeping this short. It's got a lot of shit going on, and I'm sure you guys do tue. Hopefully everybody's doing well. You guys are out there having a really good collecting experience. And like I said, let me know what you guys are looking into. All right. We'll end this. So we used to end this instead of saying goodbye nicely. We're going to say